Last time on Spyro the Dragon.
I want you to draw me like one of your French girls.
I'm out of here.
And so the adventure continues. Hello, I'm Mike Gordon, and welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Spyro the Dragon for the Sony PlayStation, as we enter the 5th world and penultimate world, Dreamweavers. The central gimmick is basically things changing and transforming, especially enemies repeatedly. You thought the green druids are annoying? Well, first of all, the main gimmick pretty much changes every world. It's kind of interesting that Dreamweavers and Peacekeepers are the only worlds that have actually have cannons, and yet none of the main levels of said worlds have them themselves. Always, we're about to free our first dragon. But first, let's go get this extra life. 60 lives, not bad, though we are pretty lagging behind in terms of life count. We don't do something soon. Alright, looks like everything's good here. We don't recollect these. I'm gonna go talk to this dragon.
The fools you see in this world are invincible, but that does not mean they shouldn't be attacked.
Sounds all right to me.
Alright, so that is so Mazzy, as you can see, is not the leader of the Dreamweavers. He simply provides you with the hint regarding the fools that are invincible, but you can still attack them and things change. You actually saw that in action just now. And yes, what changes when you flame a fool differs depending on what world in each individual world. So fools could do something different in a stage like Dark Passage, or do something different in Haunted Towers, or something different in, well, the boss world. I really love the sounds those big armor guys make. Get a bunch of them together and it's kind of silly. And no, there is no other way to defeat those guys when they're big. I don't know what they look like, if you did. Anyways, I'm gonna get those treasures and then free the real leader of the Dreamweavers.
Welcome to the Dreamweavers, young one. While chasing Gnasty's minions in this world, you must expect the unexpected and prepare for what is not there.
Yeah, just like Bruno before, I think it's Bruno before him, Latif doesn't really provide you with any clues as to what you need to do in order to proceed with this world. You just have to accumulate a ton of treasure. But we're gonna 100% this world anyways. I think we already have enough treasure to move on to Gnasty's world. But we're gonna try. But our objective is to get a perfect playthrough. And speaking of and I really love the sounds of these guys when they're big. So, speaking of perfect playthrough objectives, I am lagging way behind with my extra lives. I only have 60. Yeah, 60. 60 lives, and I need to get to 99 somehow. So we want to go over there. And of course, we got squished because we were too slow. So where we go? Well, I'll go pick up these gems. And we're gonna take these guys out. This is the only way to take out these two big guys out. You have to shrink them down with this cannon. And fortunately for us, well, let's free him first.
Hello, Spyro. Nicely done. I'll be done when I've toasted that nasty Nork.
Anyways, as I was saying, because we shrunk those two big armor guys down, once we kill them, they will remain shrunken down for the rest of this playthrough. We won't have to worry about shrinking them back down again because, well, the enemies will not ever shoot them back up to full size. So this gets us access to the last remaining flight level. Okay, we got them both at the same time. That's good. Alright, I think there's four... I don't know how... I forgot how many treasures there... I think there's like 400. No, 300 in this world. Yeah, 300. No home world, hub world has more than 300 treasure. So I'm missing 10 somewhere. Took me a while dilly-dally and I realized, oh yeah, I forgot about those File 10 treasures near haunted castles. Anyways, because I'm gonna go ahead and pick those up, that's gonna be Haunted Towers? Haunted Towers. Because I forgot about those two blue gems, about those 10 treasures. I'm gonna do Haunted Towers first. So yes, Dreamweavers is by far the least linear of the homeworlds. And that you can basically tackle just about anything in any order. So the main gimmick is that these wizards, which otherwise behave similar to the green wizards that shoot lightning out of them, can actually cause these big suits of armor to come to life. So how do you deal with them? Well, you get kissed by a fairy, that's how. This is the central gimmick of Haunted Towers. So we are gonna have to come back and get kissed quite a bit because just like in the fairy at what's it called? The High Caves and Magic Crafters, the fairy's kiss only lasts for a very short time. So I got a bucket. And by the way, it is so annoying that you have to go back and forth to get kissed by a fairy over and over again. But you gotta do it because we need to have enough flame to take out all these armored suits, because even the ones that are just lying on the ground and are not meant to be killed, they will still have treasure to collect. But surely there's gotta be an easier way of dealing with these knights, right? Like seriously. There's gotta be an easier way to kill these things without going back and forth to the same fairy over and over again. Well, what do you think? There's actually more than one fairy in this stage. It wouldn't be much of a gimmick if you had to go back and forth, constantly having to race against the clock, so to speak.
Hey, Spyro, all dragons know there's magic in a fairy's kiss. See what it can do to your power of flame.
Yeah, we already know about the fairy's kiss. You're a little late with the hints, aren't ya? I get that it's sort of meant to be a little bit of a hidden secret at the high caves that you could get kissed by a fairy. Just a taste of what was to come with Haunted Towers, but they could have put that dragon, position that dragon a little earlier in the level. So now I gotta. I can't just stick around and collect the treasures. I actually have to go in one at a time. So don't worry, there is a strategy because because Dreamweavers and all the different levels they're in have pretty high fail rates. Especially Haunted Towers with a certain trick with a certain pair of tricks that we need to perform. So yeah, we need to try to. This is what we need to do. Charge up the supercharge. Jump off that ramp. We don't need to fight either. Alright, let's free this dragon right here.
You've become a master of the supercharge. Great work.
I absolutely love the reignited version of this dragon, just how hooked on coffee he is. Anyways, the main objective here is to just rush past these guards because there's a wizard that's gonna bring them all. Shit. That's gonna try to bring them all back to life. And you have to get to the blue wizard before the last night comes to life. Otherwise, we won't be able to reach the wizard. And we're kind of up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. We got him. And there's something really special about this fairy. Unlike all the other fairies in this game, especially in this level, this fairy's kiss lasts forever. Forever. Actually, only lasts until the end of the stage when we finally leave. But it does mean that we don't have to rush things anymore. So that is the reward for getting that, making it all the way thus far. Permanent Super Flame for the duration of our stay at the Haunted Towers. Alright, and I don't want to forget this chest too. We have to break this one apart. Oh yeah. And we drop down this hole and it's right in that room that we came down from. Blasted through this passageway to make it all the way to that secret area. That was actually, believe it or not, that was actually the very last area that I had ever completed. The first time I 100%ed Spyro the Dragon. As I just could not figure out how do I get there. Fairy's Kiss, in case you need it. But we don't, because this one's permanent. And what is meant to be the second dragon of this world is actually going to be our last one.
Hold your horns! Here comes Spyro!
Patience, little one. You'll soon have the opportunity to battle the one who matters most, Gnasty Nork.
Something I really like about these late stage dragons, they're not just there to provide you with some hints or advice on what to do. They're literally there to essentially cheer you on, as well as to build up anticipation for our eventual showdown with Gnasty Nork. It honestly goes to show just how far you've come at getting to this point. So, yeah, I think this is actually really cool. Oh, don't want to forget this. And I believe this is everything. 100%. 3 dragons, 500 treasure. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I had to exit out and then re-enter, and I used this opportunity to farm for a few extra lives. Don't worry, I only farmed off of these enemies here. I did need those extra lives. That's the whole thing. So yeah, I was laying out some of the busy work. Not quite here, but I did get another extra life, and we're pretty close to another one here. I think there's still just short one orb. I'm not gonna edit this section out because we are about to come up to another extra life. More to the point, I think we've actually got everything. I double triple check just to make sure, and it does look like I've got everything. So the next world I'm gonna go to is, what is it called? Dark Passage. This has the most amount of dragons, and this is tied with the Ice Cavern for the most amount of dragons that we need to free in the entire game, and most of those dragons are off the beaten path. So the main gimmick here is that these fools basically light those lanterns to try to shrink those guys down and then blow them out to grow them back, to blow them back up to massive size. At those sizes literally make those turtles indestructible for a little Spyro. I honestly wonder.
The enemies here can be quite frightening, but you should watch the fools.
I'd rather flame the fools.
Now you're thinking.
Anyways, I have to wonder, do these armor enemies that shrink and grow large, do they have death animations for when they are large? I know the ones that you can flame have death animations, but how about the big armored turtles or the big armor guys in Dreamweavers? Do they have death animations when they're large? I'd like to see that. Alright, just gotta take those guys out. Over my dead body.
Thank you for releasing me.
Yeah, and just like Ice Cavern, this is the first of 2 dragons in Dark Passage that actually has 2 dragons who say thank you for releasing me, because they're also one of 2 levels in the entire game that have 5 dragons to rescue. Now, as I said before, no level in the game the most any level can have between dragons and dragon eggs is 5 combined. Ice Cavern and Dark Passage both have 5 dragons exactly. Dark Passage is the only one of the two that also has 500 treasures, by the way. And neither stage have any eggs to retrieve. So I jumped down here, so I'm now off the beaten path. You could have also glided down there, but I wanted to get those all those treasures and all those enemies on my way here first. Come on. So basically a lot of levels of Magic Crafters basically have every level outside of Blowhard and Crystal Flight actually have at least 1 dragon egg to rescue. Alpine Ridge has 4 dragons and 1 egg. Wizard's Peak and High Caves have 3 dragons and 2 eggs. And Magic Crafter's Homeworld has 2 eggs and 3 dragons as well. Those 4 levels, as well as Ice Cavern and Dark Passage, are thus essentially tied for the most amount of things to collect. So I gotta kill some fodder or replenish sparks here. So yeah, I basically have to... So to be fair, I have to rage quit out of the levels if I want to get 99 extra lives without having to devote an entire episode to me farming extra lives. That would absolutely suck for everyone. There's no reason for a game like Spyro to have an extra level spent just grinding.
Thanks, Spyro. I'd love to help you catch Gnasty, but I'd really hate being trapped in Crystal again.
Don't worry, the only one who's gonna be trapped is him.
So yeah. So basically whenever I make a costly mistake, rather than take a death, I'm just going to... I'm just gonna exile the level, farm for lives at the homeworld, and then work my way back to where I previously died. Once again, farming for more lives along the way. And it's absolutely important I do this here in Dreamweavers. Even if in levels like Dark Passage that don't have ain't necessarily any likely deaths. Like if I were to die in this level, it's gonna be over something stupid, as opposed to a skill issue.
Thank you for releasing me.
And there's the second thank you for releasing. Shit. Yeah, I could... Nope. Alright. Ground my way all the way back here. Note that I had to exile the stage because I didn't save my game, because as I said, Dark Passage does not really have any worrisome deaths I have to worry about avoiding. I just this time my button press, that's all. Honestly, I've already forgotten the context on what I did that's caused the screw up. Oh boy, I'm gonna die. That turtle is a real pain in the ass, and I'm having okay, I got him, okay. Thank God. For a second there, I thought I was gonna take yet another unnecessary death. Especially when I was so close to making it all the way back here. Let's free the final dragon. And I need to also collect some fodder before I go collect everything.
You know, I think you just might be the dragon to defeat Gnasty Nork.
That's me, all right.
So I just want to collect all the treasure up here first, so then I gotta find some fodder because I'm not able to pick up any treasure up. I have to pick up all the treasure on my own. I don't have Sparks to help me out here, so luckily we've already taken care of all the enemies here. Again, outside of the beaten path, this is a pretty linear level. And even when you go off the beaten path, it's still pretty linear. So I just have to work my way back here. And this is my last set of problematic encounters here. I hate you. Alright, you just have to take care of these keep it devils. Oh yeah, I should mention too that Latif, the leader of the Dreamweavers, as well as Cosmos, leader of the Magic Crafters, not only will we be seeing those two dragons again later on in the final world, but we actually saw them in the opening cutscene. They were turned into crystal in the background. Alright, extra life. And are we done? It looks like we're done. Holy cow, yeah, we are done. We took out everyone else. Alright, so as I was saying, they were in the background of them, which is why I never drew attention to them. And only focused on the two dragons that talked because they had completely different voices. Whereas Cosmos and Latif were only in the background and said absolutely nothing. This is the same in both the original Spyro game and in Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Alright, so I just have to make sure I don't miss anything. So far I took one fail at Dark Passage, one rage quit at Dark Passage. I think it took like 5 attempts to make it to the Blue Wizard at Haunted Towers. And Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, we took him out. And I'm gonna stay down here because I know the blast radius won't get me down there. Take out this Nork, and we get to fly back down to the fairies we just rescued. This is literally the main gimmick of Lofty Castle.
Fairies are always on your side, Spyro.
Yeah, I sure know that already. However, I think this is one of the instances where I don't really care much about the Reunited Trilogy version of the dragon because it's so creepy. I mean, okay, it's creepy because he's playing with a doll. So it's not the same reason as Cyprin at Peacemakers to asking you to draw him like one of your French girls. So it's not that kind of creepy. It's more like, I don't trust. This is a very weird sort of thing to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and free this ferry down here. It should be pretty easy. And oh yeah, there's treasure down here to collect too. Don't want to forget that. And I guess we gotta try this one again. I went a little too far down. And this section here does have a decent fail rate. Just pick this key up.
Ah, Spyro, thanks. Supercharge will get you to new places here in Lofty Castle, too. See where it takes you.
So yeah, we have yet another supercharged ramp that we need to take advantage of in order to reach places we otherwise can't. You want to take the right path for this one, because this will take us right where we want to go. Not down the pit. We need to jump at the top of the ramp in order to go really high, really far. And then we pivot to a glide immediately afterwards. So that was on me. I thought I could reach this over here by just supercharging, but no, you can't. You actually have to take the time to glide. So I'm jumping down here. I passed up on this area beforehand because I knew I would have to come here anyways. And this is the only one of those gems that drops exactly one red gem. One red gem worth just one piece of treasure. So it's kind of funny. And here's the locked chest and an extra life. Wow, 83 lives. By the way, it only took me... So, it took me like 7... I had 7 attempts between these 3 levels. Though most of those attempts were at Haunted Towers, but still. And that's a lot of fails. Dark Passage and Lofty Castle, I only failed once each. So now that we've got everything, we just have to make for progress, make it to the end.
Thank you for releasing me.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of dragons that will say thank you for releasing me here going forward, because, well, there's not much more for the game to tell you. Not a whole lot more hints to be provided because well, we've done just about everything. So they will congratulate you for an achievement that you've done too. You start seeing trace of the lack of variety of things to say once you got to Peacemakers. And even then, only one of their dragons said thank you for releasing me, but they made up for it by only having 12 dragons. And really, past magic crafters, the total number of dragons past peacekeepers, I would say, start to drop a bit. I mean, there's 6, 11. Because there is slightly more dragons here in Dreamweavers than there are in Beastmakers. There's like, I think 13 dragons. 3 in Haunted Towers, 3 at Lofty Castle, 5 at Dark Passage, so that's 11. There's the boss level, but that one is a rare exception. There's actually 2 dragons in the boss level as opposed to the usual 1. So there's 13 dragons. So in total, that's 13 dragons in Dreamweavers. Magic Crafters had 14 dragons. Arsons and Peacekeepers both had 16. And yada yada yada. So I go all around a circumference so I could get all the gems. This world also has, other than the home world or the flight world, which both have 300, this has the fewest amount of gems of any level, I believe, in Dreamweavers. So 400 treasures, 3 dragons. We are ready. Time to farm for some extra lives. Just have to take this guy out. Alright, now we are in business. Alright, we went around the world and we didn't get any new extra lives. But I decided, let's go take on the flight level next. And let's skip to the second platform because we were able to get those second. And this one again is kind of puts quite a bit of pressure on me, to say the very least. So I'm gonna ignore that chest for now and just go around the circumference here. I might as well just quit. Screw that one up. Alright, seems like Crystal Flight and Icy Flight are the only 2 flight levels that I actually screwed up and had to reset and try again for. Though, to be fair, I honestly thought that I would have screwed up a lot more. Look at you, Sunny Flight and Wild Flight. Sunny Flight did amazing at. Wildfly I also did surprisingly well in, so there's that. I'll have to come back for that guy, for that Nork. Alright, let's take him out, and there you go. I did pretty well, all things considered. I screwed up early in both Crystal Flight and Icy Flight, so I could afford the reset, so... 10,000 treasure. We either need 2,000 or 4,000 more to go. Anyways, I'm gonna drop down here, take all the enemies therein. And after clearing everything out, and not getting any new extra lives on top of what I already got, I'm ready to move on. Again, 85 lives, that's not enough for the final world. The final world, Gnasty's world, only has 4 extra lives. There aren't any enemies at all at the final hub world either. In Spyro 1, the OG Spyro 1 for the Sony PlayStation, the butterflies do not feed any blue... The feeders do not provide you with any blue butterflies. There are no blue butterflies at all in the OG Spyro the Dragon. Sparks will never eat a butterfly when he's at full health. So what I'm going to do is try to clear out all of these gems here, so I don't have to worry about getting everything back. Basically, I'm sparing myself of all the busy work of having to go back and revisit all of this again, or retrieve all this treasure. So, I think there's like 2 extra lives in this world, but I'm still kind of short. I'll still be short. That's 6 in total. Shit. Oh, another stupid failure.
Thank you for releasing me.
Believe it or not, this is the last dragon that will say thank you for releasing me for the entire rest of the game. And yes, as a reminder, this is the only boss level to provide you with 2 dragons. Perhaps indicating that there aren't really any dragons native to Gnasty's world. Alright, let's try and make... This section is way harder in Reignited Trilogy, by the way. Just as a heads up. And yes, in the Reignited Trilogy, the dragon actually says something else on top of the thank you for releasing me. He also says take care. Basically letting you know that he is the last of the thank you for releasing me club. Alright, I'm not quite done with this section yet. Because I need to glide here and try and nail all these enemies there, and went a little too wide. So extra life here, we are 88 lives. That's still not enough. We would be at 92, 93 lives. Again, I don't want to have an entire episode devoted to me grinding for extra lives. Alright, just trying this one again, and no, this wasn't me rage quitting and trying again. I'm just putting up my fail attempts at gliding around the world, so to speak. So maybe we'll make it back here. Alright, and let's see if we can make it over there. I think we could make it there. No. Okay, so it took me like 3 attempts to do so, and as a result, I'm now near I am also very narrowly very close to getting to max amount of extra lives. I think I have like 94, 95 like around 95 lives now. If you have 95 lives by the time you wrap up Dreamweavers and are ready to head to Nork Nexus, you are in pretty good hands, so long as you don't take any unnecessary deaths going forward. It took a little longer just to turn my ass around. Anyways, I have to be careful so I don't charge over off the side of the cliff. Okay, now we have 95 lives. We are in really good shape now. Because there are exactly 4 extra lives in the Gnasty's world. Between his main levels at Gnasty's world, so
Any advice before this battle?
Advice? A wise dragon once told me, aim high in life, but watch out for flying boxes.
Huh?
yes, that is our hint on how to take on the boss of the Dreamweavers, Jacques. You gotta jump up and flame him, but you also have to watch out for the boxes that he throws at you. It's actually a lot easier to get to without having to worry about the boxes at all. Apparently there is a trick where you can kill him way earlier, like at the very beginning of this level. Shit. Come on. Got proxied. Alright, enough with the buggy ass platform that proxied me out of it somehow. Alright, we got everything here. 500 treasure, 2 dragons. We are ready to move on. And with that, we have now officially completed the Dreamweavers world. And we are just about to hit 96 lives, so we have a bit of a cushion. Especially considering that one of the levels at Gnasty's world does have a chance of failure. A chance you could potentially die in that level. Unfortunately, it's near the end of that level, after you've got all the extra lives, but at least it's gonna keep one in the tanks. so to speak. So I'm at 96 lives, so I definitely know I'm good and ready to move on. I don't have to cut away after farming for. I don't have to farm for any more lives. So long as I avoid any unnecessary deaths at Gnasty's world, I think we're good to go. So tune in next time for the final episode. Nice job collecting so much stolen treasure, but beware, Spyro. Gnasty's world is not the most friendly place you will find. Indeed, it's not. Mike Gordon, sign out.